In this demo, we'll learn how to embed a YouTube video inside of a div tag on our web page. I've already got this little site existing for testing purposes. I'm just going to add a new page to it, and we will reattach the style sheet to that page, and then we'll generate a div tag. So let me just go up to File, New, and I'll just make it a very basic page, a blank page, HTML, no layout, create. And immediately I'm going to do a save as to establish the page. So save as. And I should click on site root just to make sure that I am in my current site. And I'm going to explicitly call it youtube.html and click save. And there it is right there in my files panel. Now, as I said, I want to attach this existing style sheet right here. So I do need to go up to CSS Designer. And we do have the plus button here. I could click this as well, I suppose. Let me try that one. Now it is a little bit cut off due to my software here, but I'm going to choose Attach Existing CSS File. And it pops up this box. And I simply browse for it. Again, I'll hit Site Root. And there's the style sheet that I want to attach. And I click Open once I've highlighted it. Again, it defaults to link, which is what we want. We click OK. And there's our style sheet that we've already been working with, and now it's attached to this file. And we'll be adding another ID to this list for this particular div. So let's go up to Insert, Insert Div. And as I said, we need to create a new ID in the style sheet. So I'll go down to New CSS Rule, choose ID. I'll call it YouTube. And I'll make sure that it is being saved in the external style sheet. I click OK. And let's just give it some positioning. We do want it to be absolute positioned so that we can have the potential to easily move it around and change its size and so on. I'm going to just start with the default size of, say, 600 pixels by 500 pixels. And placement, let's just place it 100 from the top and 100 from the left. As I said, we can always move this around afterwards. So I think I'm good to go here. Now it'll appear with some placeholder content, which ultimately we'll replace. And we'll do it in the code view, because we're going to embed code ultimately. But let's start by establishing the ID. Now it looks like I have an ID. Oh yes, I can reuse these IDs on this page as well, but I do want to use the one called YouTube. So these are available to me. They are IDs that I created for another page. But as you know, we can have a single ID per page. And I can potentially reuse these. But I'm just going to go with the new one here and keep it simple. So ID YouTube at insert point. Click OK. And as I said, there is my placeholder content. And if I was to grab the handle here, I could conceivably move this around. And I can grab these handles here and conceivably alter its size. So I can change size and position, no problem. So here's how it's going to work. We would highlight this text. I could either delete it, I'll just leave it highlighted for now. And then I'll go to I'll actually highlight it over here in my code view. I'll go out to the browser, go to YouTube, go to the share section, grab the embed code, and paste it in here. And it's that simple. So let's just switch over to Firefox. I happen to be on YouTube already, and I've got a video up here, and we'll just go down to the share section, and we want to go down to embed. And literally, you can copy that code there. I can show more if you want. We can copy this code here. I'll just select all again, copy that, and I'll go back over to Dreamweaver. In my code view, highlight the content I want to replace, and I'll just paste it in and click over here. And there is our YouTube video. Now, we can see here that it's 560 by 315. So if I wanted, I guess I could match the width of my div tag to 560 by 316. Why don't I do that? 560 by 316. Hit my tab key, and now it's fitting tightly. So let's say I was to put a a style with a frame around it on the div tag, it would look proper. But as I said, I'm going to keep this very simple. I'll just move this down to the middle of the page roughly. And by the way, this little icon here, if I click on it, it represents the div tag. And you can see how it highlighted in the code view. So let's just do a save all right now. And to appreciate this, I do need to run it in the browser. So preview in Firefox. And there's my video. And I would just have to click play to get the usual array of controls. And there we have it. Embedded YouTube video. Not only on our page, but it's actually nested inside of a div tag. So if I go back, it's very easy for me to move that around the page, and I could have content and, of course, work with stacking orders and so on. So let's just say I moved it over here and I do save all. I go back to my browser and I refresh the page. It should appear over there, and it does. So there again is how you can embed a YouTube video inside of a div tag on your web page. And I'd like you to give that a try today as well.